Everybody on YouTube, I decided to make a game room tour to start off my new channel here, and might as well start on the outside. And when you get up to the door, you start off seeing this. It says the room of. You got a Mario, flying Mario thing. You got an Apple logo, a guitar logo, which is from Guitar Center, a logo for a Firebird, and then if you look here, you got a John Lennon sticker, pretty much. And then you go in. And on the flip side of the door, you got a Tekken Tag poster, which I got with a strategy guide. It was in it, which is something that I wish they would do again. Put strategy guides with posters, or even the Game Informers used to come with posters sometimes, but they don't do that much anymore, which is kind of stupid because that was actually a really nice feature. If you go to the right, you got a Mario thing that is attached to the wall besides these wires that go up and over the door, but that's another story. You got Mario here, and you got an emblem off of a Cobra 428 jet, which I just have that randomly. And you got a car clock, but there's no battery in it right now, because it's hard to see it really, because the way the hands are compared to the background color. Anyway, above that is a Luigi, which I'll get to that later. Moving down, you got stuff with a hat, 3D glasses, whatever you can find, gum, so on and so forth, junk in the drawers. And those are just mainly used for computer parts. And then let's make your way around the other side here. What you got here is just a tripod for this camera, or any camera, with a light for if you need a light, I guess. The HDMI cable for this camera, 3 guitar pedals, 2 spray things, and Tic Tacs. And then you go to get some speakers, and then you got, this is a Dynex 18.5-inch screen TV. Now when you go to buy this TV, it says it's 19-inch until you open the box, and then all of a sudden now they're saying it's 18.5, which is not a big deal because really it works just fine anyway. Under that, running an HD Verizon Fios box is a remote for this, which is, I don't use much because you got this, which is the box. Let's switch it to HDMI input. I run this box using component. Here's a harmonica, I don't know what key it's in, a bunch of guitar picks. And you go this way, you got another speaker to a computer down that way. And you got the internet box for all the systems, because I don't like running wireless in here because it's on the other end of the house. And this has an HDMI switch box, which I shall demonstrate for you. Say you both got the 360 and the PS3, which are running on HDMI to this TV. Okay, you got the Xbox, which of course, if the TV is not connected to the system will not start up. I don't know why it does that. So I had to start off with the 360. Bring up 360, and let's say you no longer want to play a 360 because you are annoyed by it, and you switch, and now you have PS3. That easy. All done with this box here. But I have nothing wrong with any system. That's why I own them both. Though I do prefer this one. If it would shut off. There we go. Down here we got the controller for it, and a wireless headset that I use with it. It's not Sony or anything branded. I don't even know what brand it is, but it works. Here we got a 2nd generation iPod Nano, which I use because it's small. If I'm walking around with it, it's better that way. And here we got my LG chocolate phone, which has games on it, but not really anything special. I customized the thing a bit here, make it almost like an iPhone, basically. And going this way, we got a magnifying glass. Now you may be wondering what this is for. Well, if you put this up to the lens on here, you now have basically a macro mode on a flip camera. I mean, it's best if you zoom into, this is with, and that's without. With, without. Well, you see the difference, basically. Back over here again, we got a microphone, which I use if I'm doing Skype in this room, and a graphics tablet, which runs to this PC down here, this is a PC I built. It's running on an AMD Athlon 2 X4 quad-core 3 GHz chip, which the box is in here somewhere. I will show you later. And this camera is an old one. I don't use that anymore. Here's the keyboard and the mouse for it. You can see through a glass desk. And on this chair, which is very much in the way right now, I have my ukulele, my Mitchell acoustic guitar, which is Guitar Center brand, my Epiphone Dot, and my Squier Stratocaster. I have more guitars elsewhere, which I'll show later. Going this way, you got lava lamp stuff, like pens and whatnot. You got a wireless mouse, which I don't use much. Here you got a box of headphones. And this cable, which can be plugged into here, runs from this box. So let's say I'm using a system, or the computer, on here, and I want to watch TV still. Well, these boxes have dual output at the same time, and you can run that over to this TV. This is the TV I used to use in here, but I still use it using this switch box and a VCR for all of this. Everything you see here, including this, all runs into this. Thanks to this, mainly. And let's start off with what's in front of me here. We got a Commodore 64, which the box is up here. This one, I don't know the exact details on it. It's got a fast load cartridge in it. But this is a basic breadbox style Commodore 64. I have 3 floppy drives for it, the 5-inch ones, whatever they are. And this is what they call a 1571 model, which are huge. And I have 2 of these, and I also have a 1541-2 model, which are about this long. But the only problem is that's the only one that doesn't work. Which, of course, it doesn't work when you have massive ones and one small one. Of course, only the big ones work. Alright, now, plugged into this TV, starting down here, here's a DVD player, but it's not even plugged in anymore, because I don't really have a need for it anymore, because of everything else in here. We got a VCR, which is what I use for all the RF game systems. They all go into that, which then runs into this box, which then runs into this TV. Except for the Dreamcast, which that has to be separate because it's special. Down here is an Xbox, the original one. This is my second one, because the first one died. I don't know why. Yet orange ringed of death. I don't know what they call that. Here's a PS2 fat model with a 64 megabyte memory card and a blue controller, which is broken. I can never keep a controller that works with this thing. This one works except one of the sticks is loose, but it still works fine. Here's a bucket of stuff, which isn't important really. And let's go up here to this box since we're already standing in front of it. Underneath the box is PS3 games. I've got 30-something games. One of them came in a paper thing. This is if you bought Guitar Hero 5, like the pre-order, you got this for free. And I got it for free, but it's not something I would buy personally. Even though I do like Van Halen, it only has like 40 songs and only half is Van Halen. Doesn't make much sense, but they don't make them anymore, so oh well. Next to that is Xbox 360 games, not too many, but that's the system that I bought most recent. Next to that, I got the box Genesis games and the loose ones, including a cleaning cartridge. Under that, I got some boxed Atari games and the rest of the Atari 2600 games. The only thing is, inside the Astro Blast is not Astro Blast. I only had 1 copy of that, so I took it out and I replaced it with a Frogs and Flies, which is this one. I had 2 of them, so there's one inside there. There. Next to that is a loose Sims 3 game. I got that from my English teacher. He found it in a textbook, and he said I could have it. So now I have it. And I got a code somewhere. Here's my only box to a Super Nintendo game. And the game's on top so I can play it, so I don't keep it in the box. And then next to that are the rest of the games. Behind here is a Game Genie and a Super Game Boy as well, but they're hidden by the box. Now then, going this way. Up top I got some Super Mario wallpaper. Came from Nintendo Power a long time ago. Found that on eBay. Next to that is Donkey Kong bongos and a globe. Then you go down here, I got all my strategy guides, plus the Encyclopedia of Game Machines, which is an amazing thing to have if you like games. There's pretty much every system in existence in there, up until 2005, because that's when it came out. Here are the game manuals to mainly the Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64 stuff, and Game Boy games, stuff that doesn't have a case. All the Game Informers and gaming magazines, pretty much. And here we have the box to my old flip, which is not this one. PSP, memory cards of various variety, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and yellow Game Boy Pocket. There is the flip inside of that sleeve. And up there is an iPod Touch, which I use mainly for, well, it has more storage than the other one, pretty much. So I have more music on there. Here we got a Nintendo 64 with a controller behind it. Up there is a Nintendo DS Lite. Now all these systems have controllers behind it, that way I can play that if needed, so I don't have to go digging for stuff. And here's an Atari 2600 4-switch wood edition, and next to it is a clone of that. This is a Sears Video Arcade 2, which was one of the last Atari 2600s to be made. It was based off of the Atari 2800 released in Japan, but it was released here by Sears. Plays the same games. That's a different controller, which is back there. And down here is a PlayStation, the original one, all gray and whatnot. Here's a GameCube, original Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Sega Dreamcast, and Super Nintendo. Now going back behind here, if I can, there's more controllers and whatnot for all these systems. And going up I have a Power Mac G3 desktop, which has been modified quite a bit by somebody else, but I got it for 20 bucks. On top of that is all the Commodore 64 games in boxes. I just have nowhere to put them right now, so they're being stored there. On top of here is some more books to the Commodore. You got a Beatles book and a Wii in a box, and pretty much a laptop that doesn't work too often. Here are the other two drives. This is the broken one, and this is another working one. Here's some just loose floppies for that. And the internet attachment to the Commodore. Yes, it is internet. Modem 300. Here's a monitor for old computers if needed, which it is rarely needed. Going up, I got a couple of posters and a guitar hanger. And we got some more stickers, which I'll get to in another minute. And another sticker. And another one. So let me get to that now. Over here, and this thing is massive, so it's going to be hard to film, going across this entire wall, and down here, and this way, and up again. These are wall stickers of Super Mario Brothers, pretty much, that I got. They came in this black box, and they're peel off. You can reuse them, luckily. And there were so many extras that they're just all over the place in here. Above my bed here is a shelf of gaming-related figures, whether it be a stuffed figure, plastic figure, whatever. It all goes all the way up here. And there's a Boo that I made there. I made that out of little bead things, and they melt together, I guess. There's the box, the processor in that computer. Up here are two speakers, which run across the wall, down over the door, down this wall, down all the way down there to a stereo system, which I run pretty much anything coming out of this through. And then we get to this. Here are the rest of the games in here. We've got GameCube games there, Dreamcast games, all my Wii games that I personally own, PlayStation 2 games, they go quite a ways, some Game Boy games, which are the rest are over here, the demo disc, the PS2, and a Rubik's Cube. We got PS1 games. I only have one in a big box, and that's Tekken, the original one. We got original Xbox games, Nintendo 64 games, NES games, lots of them, boxed PC games, old and new, and a couple of Star Wars movies, DS games, 2 stacks of that, and PSP games and a PSP movie of Family Guy. And then we got more posters this way of various things, including a Power Mac G4. And that's basically it. I do have a Wii in another room, and I have 3 Macs in another room, besides the ones in the closet. So, goodbye until next time.